More on the continuing saga, the giant who mistook a woodcutter for a magician. Our story thus far, John, a simple woodcutter lost in the woods and a blizzard, has made it to the porch of the giant. The door knocker is 15 feet up in the air, and he's wondering how he's going to get into the place when the giant opens the door and throws some bones out into the snow. And the giant says, "Who are you? What do you want?" John took the measure of the bearded man in the doorway. About 3.5 axe handles tall, hands as big as his head. Had the size of Mabel's kettle that she boils her laundry in. His face looks like a bit of a rat. Must be a small giant. An ugly one, too. Time to pull out the manners. "Please, sir, I am a woodcutter, dreadfully cold and lost." "Woodcutter, huh? Got all the wood I need. Go on with you." The giant slammed the door. John swam through the snow and grabbed the largest bone he could find. On his way back, he realized that it was the size of his thigh. On the porch, he paused. "Everybody says giants eat folks. I can freeze dead on the porch or take my chances inside." He rained down a thunderstorm of blows on the door. Presently, it opened. "Grundlebuck, what's that racket? Are you a woodcutter or a woodpecker?" Since the truth had not gained him entry, John answered, "A woodpecker, good sir." "No birds in the house." Wham! He slammed the door. John set up another thunderstorm. After a long time, the giant opened the door. Before he could speak, John handed him the thigh bone. "Here, hold this." While the giant looked at the bone, John stepped inside. "Third time's the charm," he said. The room stood about 60 feet square, with a bearskin curtain to the right closing off the giant's bedroom. The windows had curtains pulled tight against the night, all except the one on the left. It was torn to let the light that guided John. He walked around the table and the chairs to stand in front of the fireplace. It was oversized like everything else. The hanging kettle was big enough to take a bath in. The fire a bit small, stingy, for a giant who claimed to have all the wood he needed. The giant threw the bone back in the yard and closed the door. "What was that you said?" "Third time's the charm. My mother always said that. Looks like it works. Here I am. My name's John, if that pleases you, sir." He pulled his gloves off, cupped his hands, and blew on them. "Sumatra. I don't care what your name is. What you blowing on your hands for?" "To warm them." "What's a Sumatra?" "My name." The giant scowled. He had planned on letting the little blighter freeze salad on the porch, thaw him out when he got hungry. Then came that racket. And now, here the little blighter was, all inside. Ain't no ordinary woodcutter can do that. Says his mom taught him charms, which most likely blowing on his hands like it was natural. Maybe he's got dragon blood in him. This could get tricky. "Where's your axe?" "At my camp with my horse. Left it behind while I went walking, lost sight of the dragon's mouth, and ended up here. Sure, I'm hungry if it pleases, sir." "Right, I'll fetch up something for a bowl." He rummaged around. "Fill him full of warm porridge." When he nods off, pop him in the pot, put a lid on it, and simmer him till noon. Still, he knows charms, and use the dragon's mouth for a guide. He might live there, be friends with the beast, or maybe just a servant. "Know the dragon, do you?" "Not really. Met him now and then at the castle. Tried calling him by his title, Lord Dracul Augustus Dingnettle IV, Dragon under the Lonely Mountain and King over the Lonely Mountain. Bit of a mouthful, that. Said to call him Augustus. Fine fellow, really. Their daughter, Lady Lucille and Sir Ham, she calls him Gussie. Mention that, calling the dragon Gussie. Ham used to be a cook till the dragon died of Sumatra. Now there's a name. How'd you get it?" We'll find out next week.